Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Princess Buttercup from The Princess Bride, and she goes with my Wesley. He's already up on my channel. For this pattern you're going to need red bands or orange for the dress, gold or yellow for the hair and the belt, and I'm going to use yellow on the hair today. You'll need some skin tone bands, and for the eyes I used blue beads originally. I'm going to use blue bands in the video so you see how that looks. And if you want, you can also take white beads and draw on a pupil after. For this pattern we're going to need our hook and our loom, which will be in the offset configuration, middle row above the other two. I have one arm ready and I'm going to make the other with you and ask you to go back and complete the second one after. So let me show you how this is done. We are coming down 5 times with double red bands on the left hand side and 4 times down the middle. You will take a single red band, double it over, and put it from your 6th side peg to your 6th middle peg, right where these end. We're going to do 2 doubled over capping triangles pointing inwards. So the first one goes over your 4th and 5th pegs on the left and over the 5th peg in the center. And we're going to have another one facing inwards. So go to your 2nd and 3rd pegs with your doubled over triangle and reach that to your 2nd center. For our hand, we're taking a single skin tone band and wrapping it 3 times onto the hook. And this gets pulled onto double skin tone bands. Place this on your 6th peg down on the left. And we're going to reach underneath and get the top 2 bands, or the top band, which is a doubled over, so it looks like 2. And we're pulling these both back over to the center. And now we are going to loop up either side, but make sure when you get to the triangles you're pushing back these top pieces. So reach under the arm, grab your bottom 2, loop them up, push back your triangle, loop up, and this is all just going to give it an added puffiness when we're done. And go back under this bottom one on your middle, and we're going to loop straight. The triangle shouldn't be as much in your way on this side. Okay, grab your top bands with your hook, pull this off the loom, and then we're going to take 2 red bands and slide these all on top so it's easier to connect later. And you can take a couple of minutes here and make a 2nd arm for me, please. When you're ready, come back to your loom. We're going to start with 2 single bands coming straight down the middle. And one more time, another 2. Two red bands to the right, from the 2nd center to the 2nd right. And 2 from the 2nd center to the 2nd left. Come down on either side with double bands 1 time. And this next part is optional. If you would like, you can make this area thicker by putting 6 bands onto the pegs, the 3rd to 4th pegs, and I'm going to do that again here. If you don't want that added thickness, you can just leave it with 2 bands, or you can use a smaller number of bands. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They can be placed all together or one at a time, whatever you're comfortable with. And now we are going to fill the length of the loom with double red bands. You could fill it up any which way as long as you're moving downwards and you're getting each set of pegs. Kind of doing this at random myself here. we are going to go straight to the very, very bottom. Just keep going until there's nowhere else to go. In just 1 second, we are going to add our securing bands. I just want to double check for you where our tight bands are. Okay, so let's put our arms on our second pegs down. You can take all 4 bands that are showing on your hook, all 4 loops, and put them on. And for our triangle bands, our top 2 are going to be singles stretched across. This is from the 3rd to the 3rd and raised above the center 3rd. And this next one, the next one is going to be doubled over and stretched across 4th to 4th. And we're going to double over the next 2. And from here until the end of the loop of the loom, we are going to be using single bands and just stretching them across. Maybe we'll use doubles just at the bottom just to keep it a little tighter though. We'll use a doubled over band right across the bottom. So take a single stretch out around here, put it over your bottom 3 and loop it up just over the center. And before we start to loop, we're going to make a little tiny extension here so that the dress flares. I'll get you to push down your capping bands and all of your bands on your bottom 3 pegs. And we're going to come from the 3rd peg from the bottom to the 2nd peg from the bottom, and then down 1 more time. This is going right on top. And then the same on the other side. We're going to come down on the two last sets of pegs here. Place a holding band across from our 2nd peg from the bottom to the 2nd peg, and up over that 2nd peg in the middle. And we are going to put a capping band right here in the bottom of the loom on either side. I'm going to wrap it 3 times. The same over here. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to loop up 2 times on either side, but we're just getting these bands. So get under your cap and get under your holding piece. We're grabbing the next top 2, pull them up and over, push back your triangle band here and get your next top 2, which is, it's these 2 again. And we are going to carefully take these bands over the side, our kind of little chain that we just looped. And you can remove this capping band from the bottom carefully. Just place it onto the side. And I want this to sort of sit closer, so I'm going to take part of our chain here and pull it back over that 2nd peg. We're going to do this on the other side. Get under your cap band, get your top 2 here, and we're going to loop them up. And I apologize if I'm blocking the view. I'm doing my best. This part's a little harder to do, so I just want to get it right for you as well. Get the next 2 bands up. Again, we're going to take that bottom cap off. It's a little tight here, so be gentle with it. And we're going to take part of this piece off as well. I'm just going to take off the top part this time here. Try and even it out. And now we can start to loop up. So we're going to do one of the sides first. And get underneath that capping piece. Get your bottom two, loop it up and over. Go inside here, get your bottom two, loop them up and over. Bottom two, up and over. Going straight to where the arms are. When you get to that really thick piece, if you choose to do the thick piece, you can take it, this is talking about our 3rd to 4th pegs here, from the top that is. When you get there, you can take all the bands over together or take them a couple at a time and just do whatever's comfortable for you. Watch out for the tension with our doubled over bands. So here is our thick section, push back our triangle, and you can carefully take them all at once, or grab one or two and then come back and grab another one or two until you have them all. We're going to keep looping and get this diagonal band back to the center. And that's kind of tangled in here, so I'm stretching it to the side to see it. We're going to do this all again on the other side. So if you've got this already, feel free to jump ahead a little bit. And we're basically going to go to the top and then go right up the middle. And if this is too fast for you, you can always pause my video and go back, or just take your time with it. And this is probably the hardest part of the pattern here, is this looping up. So if you're doing good, that's awesome. Just keep with it and we'll be at the easier stuff right away. And the last two diagonal. Okay, now we're going to come up the middle. I'm just going to loosen these now. Once more, there shouldn't really be anything in your way as you're coming up. But if you feel a lot of tension in a strange place, just double check that you've got the right bands, because it should be pretty smooth going here. We are going to reach through and get these last two bands now. Pull them up and over. Ease some of the tension here. I'm going to pull some of these off with keeping my hook's open part pointed away from me. And then we can take this off of our loom in just 1 second. I always get so impatient at this part. I just want to get it off and see how it looks. But we are almost there. And get your hook through your top bands on the top peg. And we're going to turn this over because, well, you can use either side. I kind of like the back side for this one. And since I'm switching it, I'm going to switch my hook, put it through from the opposite direction. And for a belt, I'm just going to use 2 gold bands. You can use yellow. You don't have to have a belt at all. You can play around with this, whatever. I'm just bringing those across to the center. Let's make our head. We're coming back to the loom, same configuration. And you're taking double bands of your hair color, be it gold or yellow. Top center to top right. Top center to top left. Once down the middle, double bands. And 2 sets of double bands down either side. Now I I'm gonna make a chain for either side. You have the option as well, if you're a more confident loomer, I guess, if you would like to play around with some extensions or add extra chains, you might want to have 2 chains on the bottom. That will make the hair a little thicker. That's completely up to you. I like the way it looks just kind of floating down here like this. So let's do our skin tone and then we'll add our chains really quick at the end. Come down 2 times in the center with double skin tone bands. And meet up 3rd peg side to 4th center with more double skin tone, and repeat on the other side. We're using doubled over skin tone bands for our holding caps because we want our face to be kind of small and neat. This is coming from our 3rd peg to our 3rd peg and up over the 3rd. And 1 more above it, skin tone doubled over 2nd to 2nd. For our hair chains, I'm taking a single hair colored band, wrapping it once or twice, and I'm going to do just a single chain. So it's going to be thin but flexible. And we're going to do put it onto 4 singles. So there's 1 single, 2, 3, 4. You can make it longer if you like, you can make it shorter if you like. This is kind of a nice size because it's just long enough it can be stretched behind or it can sit in front. You might find if you're working with different kinds of bands they stretch a little differently, so play around with that a bit. I'm going to make one for the other side, a single wrap twice, pulled onto 1 single, 2 singles, 3 singles, and 4 singles on the 3rd peg down on the other side. Now for your eyes, if you are using beads, get them both onto a skin tone band. If you're using bands, that's what we're going to do here. I'm wrapping it 3 times. I'm going to wrap my second one 3 times. And I'm going to pull these both onto a skin tone. I really like my hook with its little, its smaller gauge here. This is my larger one. It's a little more awkward, but I wanted to show you without anything in the way. Our eyes are coming from the 2nd peg down to the 2nd peg. And I'm just going to separate them. If you are concerned about them slipping back and forth, you can take the center piece and pull it down over the middle here. Maybe I will do that this time just to see. Okay, we are going to add our body and then we can loop. So we're going to take our neck pieces and place those onto the 4th peg down in the center. I'm going to stretch it over the peg below just so it's all out of the way and can be seen better. Show you what I mean, just 1 second. This does stretch the neck out a little bit, but here you can see what I'm looking at. And we are going to find the top 2 bands and pull them back to the right side, and find the next 2 and pull them to the left side. And then we're going to loop straight to the, almost caught my eye band here. I forgot that was in the center. Okay, I'm going to leave this one for last just because, but you can loop up further if you want. And I'm going to loop up the side, so get the bottom 2, pull it up and through the rest of these pieces. Bottom 2 up and over, come to the center, and up the right hand side. Watch out for your eye bands again. And one more time up diagonally. Oh, I lost one there. Where did it go? Sorry Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to reach underneath and grab it one more time. And you're coming up the center one more time. Take a yellow band, have it at the ready. We're going to put our hook through the bands in the top peg with the open part facing away. Catch your yellow band underneath and loop it straight through. Other end on, and we'll pull this end over that one to create a slip knot. At which point we can carefully remove this from our loom. Push your eyes out. We're going to take our hair and pull it up through these two bands. Try to do it carefully so you don't stretch them out too much. You can secure your securing band in the back under a C-clip or onto a C-clip. Just going to tuck this in here. And I'm going to show you two little sort of tricks if you want them. If you are concerned about your belt flopping about, what we can do is take our hook, put it underneath, at the back that is, and bring a red band under, loop one end over the other, and secure this red band under one of your back pieces, just onto a C-clip, and then it won't be able to flip around. And for your hair, if you've done your 2 chains, 1 chain, whatever it is, if you want the hair to sit in the back or sit in a specific way on the front, what you can do is put your hook through, just on the side, grab a piece, grab a hair color band, slide it through, make a slip knot here, and that will hold it in place. And you can do the same on the back with a yellow or red if you want it to sit somewhere specific. So there is your Princess Buttercup, and I hope you enjoyed, and I thank you for watching.